Of a fight. He's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that.
I'm not just going to point fingers and blame and say this fight's ridiculous, it shouldn't be happening, and it's more dangerous than anything I've ever seen, because boxing is a tough sport. We do get punched in the head when we get in there, and we do have to make weight. It's part of the deal.
It's a hell of a start. You know, Moses may not quite have the same energy to light up a room just yet, but he's 20 years old.
I don't agree with you. I think he's got it.
The boxing world has erupted with debate after Johnny Nelson slammed Moses Itauma for demanding a fight with Oleksandr Usyk. Nelson didn't hold back, warning that such ambition might be dangerous if not timed correctly. In his words, Usyk isn't just another heavyweight champion. He's a master tactician who breaks opponents mentally.
And so Moses has got everything in his favour. Yeah, then people are going to get all getting excited. Put him in with I wouldn't do that because Usyk's too small.
Physically. Yet despite Nelson's harsh warning, fans remain hyped. Many are convinced Moses is ready to conquer the heavyweight throne right now. That clash of perspectives, ambition versus caution, has ignited one of the most intriguing debates in modern heavyweight boxing. Is Moses' bold challenge a sign of greatness, or is it a reckless leap into waters too deep? Nelson made his stance crystal clear. You don't throw a young lion into the cage with the king, unless that lion is ready to kill. He recognizes Itauma as one of the brightest rising stars in boxing, someone who undoubtedly carries the future of the division on his shoulders.
On the block, Moses Itauma, who looks absolutely extraordinary, and for me, he ticks all the boxes. I like his attitude, I like his style, southpaw, hard-hitting, moves so well. He's going to be very, very difficult to sort of deter. So it's an interesting one because, yeah, is this too soon for Moses, or is this just the right fight at the right time?
But in his view, Usyk is still a war general, a master strategist who controls the battlefield inside the ropes. Timing builds champions, Nelson stressed. One wrong step can crush a rising empire. For him, it's not about doubting Itauma's skill. It's about acknowledging the brutal truth that boxing punishes impatience. In stark contrast, veteran commentator...
Ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly edging at the top 3 or 4. He's not ready for them yet.
Adam Smith painted an entirely different picture. Smith described Moses as a complete package built for destruction, with his southpaw stance, hand speed, knockout power, and fluid movement. Smith argued Itauma has the tools to trouble anyone in the division. For Smith, Itauma isn't just promising, he's already primed to dominate, doubling down on his bold stance.
Last fight, Itauma, there's good fight. Turkey is good man. This organized more big fighter, more big event, and we see what we do, what next.
Smith went as far as to call Moses a nightmare matchup for almost every heavyweight today. The only names he exempted from that claim were Usyk and Daniel Dubois, whom he felt still held an edge. Still, even Smith conceded a critical point. Timing matters. Stepping up too early could mean the difference between building a long-lasting legacy and risking everything in one premature leap. Adding more intrigue, Usyk's own team finally broke their silence. Manager Sergey Lapin kept his assessment brutally honest. He acknowledged Itauma as a huge talent, even admitting that his rise has been nothing short of phenomenal. But Lapin didn't sugarcoat the reality. Challenging Usyk now could amount to career suicide. The message is clear. Lapin...
Is it Oleksandr Usyk, or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast. Different beast.
Warned. Respect the king before you challenge his throne. Veteran warrior Derek Chisora echoed that caution. Having shared the ring with Usyk, Chisora knows firsthand the Ukrainian's brilliance. He reminded fans that Usyk isn't simply skilled, he's a different beast altogether. Chisora pointed out that Itauma may have explosive power and raw athleticism, but Usyk thrives on punishing mistakes. His ability to control distance, break rhythm, and counter with surgical precision makes him a nightmare for anyone. Chisora emphasized that his words weren't meant to criticize Itauma, but to highlight Usyk's danger. Rushing Moses into such a fight could derail years of growth. Former cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew took a broader approach.
That I worry about with Moses is the size, but ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Oleksandr Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Oleksandr Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
He noted how Usyk has already rewritten the rules of heavyweight boxing. Traditionally, size has been seen as the ultimate advantage in the division, but Usyk proved that skill, speed, and IQ can neutralize raw size. Bellew sees Itauma as fitting into that new paradigm. Though not as refined as Usyk yet, Itauma's natural southpaw rhythm, athleticism, and knockout power hint at generational talent. From Bellew's perspective, Moses doesn't just represent the future, he may define it. Even so, Bellew admitted the risk. A fight against Usyk right now could prove too soon. Once again, timing became the decisive factor. When Anthony Joshua entered the discussion, he redirected the spotlight to one essential ingredient of heavyweight boxing: one-punch knockout power. Joshua, no stranger to its consequences, acknowledged that Itauma possesses exactly that. A southpaw with hand speed, angles, and finishing instinct.
I can't, just off the top of my head, those are guys that I mentioned that he's hit with one shot and knocked him out. So you can see he carries that one-punch knockout power.
Moses is the type of fighter who can turn a fight with one clean shot. Still, Joshua cautioned against relying on raw power alone. Against a technician like Usyk, who has mastered the art of avoiding and neutralizing big shots, power isn't enough. Patience, strategy, and experience are equally vital. Joshua's words underscored a crucial truth. Itauma may already be mentioned among elite names, but recognition doesn't always equal readiness. Amir Khan drew from his own career experiences, stressing the dangers of being rushed into deep waters too soon. For Khan, Itauma's potential is undeniable, but greatness is forged over time. Khan argued that Itauma needs at least 2 or 3 more years of development, fighting...
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. That's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on...
Durable opponents, building ring IQ, and sharpening his adaptability. By the time Moses reaches 22 or 23, Khan predicted he'll be ready to take on Usyk, Fury, or Joshua. It's not about doubting him. Khan explained, it's about protecting him. One mistake can end careers in this division. Promoter Eddie Hearn approached the debate from a business and strategic perspective. He acknowledged Moses' raw knockout power, his athleticism, and his southpaw explosiveness, but he also weighed the risks of pushing him into a fight with Usyk prematurely. For Hearn, development is a balancing act. Yes, the hype around Moses is real. Yes, broadcasters and markets would love a showdown with Usyk, but the long-term play, building a career, not just a single night, matters more. Commentator John Rawling widened the lens further, reminding everyone that boxing isn't just about talent, it's about economics. He noted that Itauma's rapid rise has coincided with promoters,
but at the same time, he may go in there and get absolutely schooled by Oleksandr Usyk. Or he might knock him out. I don't know. But I, personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test. Yeah.
Broadcasters and markets hungry for the next big star. Rawling cautioned that money often dictates timelines, sometimes at the expense of smart development. For him, the smarter move is to let Moses grow organically, logging rounds, fighting seasoned veterans, and learning to adjust under pressure. He also underscored that Usyk is the standout heavyweight technician of his generation, a man who consistently outclassed bigger, stronger rivals. That's why Rawling doesn't believe a Moses Usyk fight will happen just yet. Renowned trainer Russ Anber added his respected voice, offering a technical evaluation. Unlike hype-driven commentary, Anber focused on the mechanics, Itauma's footwork, punch selection, and ability to control range as a southpaw. These are traits usually seen in champions, not prospects barely out of their teens. Anber praised Moses' instincts as exceptional, evidence of natural gifts that could carry him to the top. Still, he emphasized patience. To beat a fighter like Usyk, raw ability isn't enough. A young fighter must experience 12-round wars, different styles, and moments where Plan A fails. Only then does greatness...
Well, money always talks, doesn't it? And come on, I mean, it's going to be vast, isn't it? And you know, if Turkey wants it, if the big noises over here, the big money men are moving towards that, then they'll be pushing for that. But at the moment, he needs rounds, and who are you going to put him in against to get
mature? For Anber, Itauma's ceiling is extraordinary. With proper development, he won't just compete in the heavyweight division, he could redefine it entirely. All of these perspectives lead to one undeniable conclusion. The heavyweight division stands at a fascinating crossroads. Usyk, the pound-for-pound maestro, is a master of dismantling opponents with skill and IQ. Moses Itauma, young and fearless, represents evolution, a new wave of heavyweights built on athleticism and explosiveness. The stakes in such a potential clash are enormous. If Itauma shocks the world by beating Usyk, he immediately cements himself as the future king of boxing's most glamorous division. But if Usyk outclasses him, Itauma risks stalling his career and losing years of carefully built momentum. This isn't just about belts or rankings. It's about legacy, timing, and destiny. One mistake could change everything. So the debate continues. Do you back Usyk's unmatched...
Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over Dillian. I hope you understand that when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. You know, I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably a better
mastery. Or do you believe Moses Itauma is ready to seize the throne early? Drop your predictions in the comments below, because this debate isn't slowing down anytime soon.